Welcome to another deep dive. I'm genuinely excited about our explanation today. We're peeling back the layers on something that seems, well, incredibly simple, but holds a surprising amount of power, especially for anyone looking to build real confidence in, everyday English communication. Forget grand speeches for a sec. We're talking about ordering your morning coffee. Sounds basic, right? But it's actually pretty profound. It's not just about getting caffeine, it's about mastering a really foundational skill. It sort of unlocks a whole level of practical language use. Our journey today is inspired by some fantastic source material, stuff focused on everyday English conversations and real phrases for real life. We've been digging into this segment called Cafe Phrases You Need, and honestly, it's a goldmine. Really actionable stuff. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Ordering coffee, it seems so simple, maybe even trivial, yet it can feel like a real linguistic hurdle for lots of people. What makes this specific interaction so crucial for building practical skills and confidence? Is there maybe a risk, like focusing too much on the small win might overshadow bigger language goals?
That's a great question. And it really gets to the core of why these, seemingly small interactions are so vital. What's fascinating is exactly that perceived simplicity. It might look like just a quick transaction, right? But it's actually a low-stakes, very high-frequency interaction. I mean, think about it. How many times a week might you grab a coffee or someone you know? So mastering this scenario, it isn't just a small win. It's actually a powerful, real-world confidence booster. It genuinely reduces anxiety in public interactions, and it builds this strong, tangible foundation for more complex conversations down the line. It's about empowering you right now in practical ways, turning abstract knowledge into something you can really use. Think of it like a linguistic warm-up for your confidence muscles. And, well, those muscles, they become pretty crucial for tackling bigger challenges later on.
A linguistic warm-up. I really like that framing, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to dissect today. We're pulling out some essential nuggets from these sources, stuff that goes beyond just memorizing words. First, we'll start right at the counter, those key opening lines to get your order going. Then we'll dive into customizing your order, all those little details that make the drink yours. And finally, something often overlooked but critical: politeness. Especially the role of please in English communication. It's about way more than just the word itself. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think, because these aren't just separate phrases you learn in isolation. When you combine them correctly, they create a whole interaction. Smooth, confident. We'll even walk through a quick scenario, show you exactly how it fits together, maybe even point out a few unexpected linguistic quirks to watch for.
Absolutely. The sources really highlight key phrases like, can I have a coffee, please? Would. Also, I'd like a latte.
Hmm.
And could I get a cappuccino? These are pretty much your main tools for making a direct request politely. Now, the nuance between them, it's subtle, but it's there and kind of important. Can I have is common, direct, perfectly polite, straightforward. I'd like feels a little softer, maybe. Expressing a preference, you might use it when you're sort of deciding. And could I get? That often comes across as slightly more formal or deferential. A very polite way to ask. Maybe if you feel you're asking for something tricky or you just want to be extra courteous. Honestly, all are fine, but understanding these slight shades of meaning, it adds to your comfort level. Lets you choose the phrase that feels right for the moment or just your style.
That's a crucial distinction. Okay, so if you're standing there, you know exactly what you want. Can I have a coffee, please? That's your solid starting point. Clear, direct, polite, got it. But what if you're, I don't know, feeling a bit more adventurous? Or you have a specific favorite, like a latte, and want to phrase it more gently.
Right. Then I'd like a latte works perfectly. It's efficient, clear, tells the barista exactly what you want, no ambiguity, but it still keeps that friendly tone. Or say you are asking for something complex. Or maybe it's just a super busy morning at the cafe, then could I get a cappuccino? That works beautifully. It sort of conveys respect for the barista's time and effort. These are the building blocks, really. They eliminate that hesitation, that awkward pause. They move you from just thinking about your order to confidently saying it.
Okay, makes sense. Now, a coffee isn't just a coffee, is it? We all have our perfect version, and that's where making it yours comes in. Customizing the order is key. And our sources have great pointers on adding those specifics. First up, size. Definitely don't want a tiny espresso cup when you were hoping for a giant mug.
Precisely. Yeah, the sources emphasize the standard options: small, medium, and large. You just slot these words in. So your "can I have a coffee, please" becomes "can I have a medium coffee, please?"
Yeah.
Aha. Simple addition, but it ensures you get what you want. Reduces any guesswork. Though, it's worth mentioning, some big chains, like Starbucks, they have their own size names, like tall, grande, venti. You can use those, sure.
Yep.
But honestly, sticking to small, medium, large, that's universally understood. Pretty safe bet in almost any cafe.
That's a great tip, the universal sizes. Smart. And what about when you're, rushing on the go? Because let's be real, a lot of coffee orders are grab and dash situations for many people.
Right. For that, the key phrases are to go or take away. Generally, you'll hear to go more in North America, whereas takeaway is more common in the UK, Australia, places like that. So you'd say, could I get a large latte to go?
Right.
Or, I'd like a small coffee takeaway, please. This little addition just clarifies things, helps the barista prepare it right without needing to ask extra questions.
You're right. It's those little details. They really smooth out the interaction. And then there are all those other tweaks, the things that make it the perfect coffee for you, like milk, sugar, ice, extra shots, all the specifics.
Definitely. And the sources give clear examples for these too. For milk, you'd specify with milk, or maybe with oat milk, with almond milk, with soy milk, whatever it is. For sugar, it's simple. With sugar, no sugar, or even with Splenda, if that's your thing. Temperature, iced coffee. Or if you like it really hot, you could actually say extra hot. And for espresso strength, single shot, double shot, triple shot. You can combine these easily. Like, can I have an iced coffee with oat milk and a double shot, please? Or maybe I'd like a medium latte, extra hot, no sugar, to go. See, the key is just being precise, but also concise. No long stories needed, just these direct phrases.
I hadn't thought about extra hot. That's a brilliant detail. Useful. But speaking of specifics, I know our sources mention a kind of hidden linguistic trap, something that can catch people out, especially with coffee, which seems so simple on the surface. What should listeners be sort of aware of there?
This is a fantastic point, and it's one of those cultural insights that just makes you feel, well, more informed, In many parts of the U.S., if you just ask for a regular coffee, what you'll probably get is black coffee, just plain black coffee. However, in other regions, particularly some parts of New England and also parts of Canada, a regular coffee traditionally means coffee with cream and sugar already added. So yeah, if you're traveling, just asking for a regular coffee could lead to a very unexpected result. To avoid that surprise, it's always safer, always clearer to just specify exactly what you want. Say, black coffee, please, or coffee with milk and sugar. Understanding these little regional quirks can definitely save you from a morning caffeine mix-up.
Wow, that's truly fascinating, and exactly the kind of unexpected insight we love finding. It just shows how language, even for a simple coffee order, is so tied to local culture, isn't it? Okay, so you've mastered the core request, customized it perfectly, you're aware of traps like regular coffee, but there's one more ingredient, the one that elevates the whole thing from just transactional to genuinely pleasant and confident. Politeness. Our sources make it crystal clear how much please and thank you really matter.
Oh, this is critical. Absolutely critical. And its importance goes way beyond just language learning. In English-speaking cultures, please and thank you aren't just like optional extras. They are fundamental, foundational elements of polite communication, including please when you ask for something and thank you when you receive it. It hugely impacts how you're perceived. It communicates respect, consideration, basic goodwill. Think of it this way. In some cultures, maybe a direct request is just seen as efficient. Fine. But in English-speaking contexts, a direct request without please can sometimes sound demanding, maybe even rude, even if that's not your intention at all. It's really about cultural expectation as much as grammar.
You're right. It's such a small word, please, but wow, it carries so much weight. It just smooths everything out, makes you sound more natural, more confident, not just grammatically correct. I can totally see how without it, even a perfectly phrased request, technically, could just land wrong, feel abrupt or unfriendly.
Exactly. These words are like social lubricant. They ensure a positive exchange. They're pretty much non-negotiable for polite daily interaction. They show you understand and respect the sort of social contract. It demonstrates cultural awareness just as much as linguistic accuracy. And it's not just please and thank you either. A simple hi or hello when you arrive, and maybe a have a good day at the end. Those also contribute to a warmer, more confident feel overall.
Okay, so we've broken down all these pieces: core requests, customizing, politeness, even cultural traps. Now, let's put it all together, a practical scenario. Our source actually gives a simple role play. It's a fantastic template you can use, like, right away. Just a few lines, but it covers everything. Should we try it?
Yeah, let's walk through it. We can imagine it unfolding, right? You walk up to the counter, the barista opens with a friendly, hi there, what can I get you?
And your confident response, using everything we've talked about, could be something like, hi, Could I get a medium iced latte with oat milk, no sugar, please? See? You've hit the greeting, the size, temperature, specific drink, milk type, the sugar preference, and that crucial, please. Nailed it.
Perfect. The barista might then follow up with a common question, maybe, for here or to go.
And your clear answer, depending on your plans, to go, please, or maybe for here, thank you. Then they might ask, anything else for you today?
And your polite closing, assuming you're all set, is simply, no, that's all. Thank you.
Short, sweet, and absolutely complete. That's it. You've successfully navigated the whole interaction, got exactly what you wanted, left a positive impression. It's incredibly efficient when you break it down.
The beauty really is in its simplicity and effectiveness.
Yeah.
It covers all the necessary info, it's polite, it's clear, and hey, if there's ever a moment of confusion, like maybe you didn't quite hear the price, a simple, polite, sorry, how much is that? Or could you repeat the total, please? Works wonders. Absolutely no need to panic.
I think that's the real key takeaway here, isn't it? The sources really emphasize that repeating these phrases, it isn't just about memorizing words off a list. It's about building muscle memory, actual physical memory. The more times you say, could I get a medium iced latte with oat milk, no sugar, please? The more natural it feels, the less you have to consciously, actively think about it. It moves from being knowledge in your head to practical, almost effortless application. That's where true confidence comes from, and that feeling, it definitely spills over into other parts of your life. So what does this all boil down to for you, our listener? We've journeyed from understanding those basic request phrases to precisely customizing your order, even spotting things like the regular coffee trap, and finally really grasping the huge power of politeness and those cultural nuances. It's basically a complete toolkit for a super common everyday scenario.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, these simple, polite phrases, they're your toolkit for sounding confident, making clear requests, just reducing friction in daily life, and understanding the why behind politeness, that it's a cultural expectation, a sign of respect that enriches the what being the phrases themselves. It transforms what could be a moment of anxiety into, hopefully, a moment of confident connection. And it gives you a framework for understanding lots of other common English interactions, too. It really is about making knowledge actionable.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the vital lessons from our depth dive today. First, for making requests, remember the foundational strength of phrases like, can I have, I'd like, and could I get, your versatile go-tos. Second, you've got the tools now to precisely customize orders. Size, small, medium, large, watching out for those brand names. Packaging, to go or take away. Specific editions with oat milk, no sugar, extra hot, double shot, and we flagged that tricky regular coffee thing. And third, absolutely indispensable, the value of please and thank you. They're crucial for polite, confident interaction in English-speaking places. Your social currency, really. Fundamental.
Exactly. And mastering this single everyday scenario, just ordering a coffee, it builds incredible momentum. It proves to yourself, hey, I can navigate real-world English successfully. It turns a potentially intimidating moment into a small but really significant win, a triumph. So this brings us to an important question for you to think about. Beyond just ordering coffee, what other seemingly small, repetitive daily interactions could you approach with this same kind of focus? Focus on specific polite phrases to unlock greater confidence and smoother communication. Maybe asking for directions, returning something to a shop, making a reservation, even just asking someone to pass the salt at dinner. How might this kind of micro-level linguistic mastery empower you in other parts of your life? Think about travel conversations, maybe navigating work meetings better. What new doors might focusing on these small interactions actually open for broader understanding and connection? We'd really encourage you to actively look for these everyday opportunities, because honestly, they are everywhere, just waiting for you to conquer them, one confident phrase at a time.
That is a truly thought-provoking challenge to leave everyone with. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope this exploration helps you start your day, well, every day, with a perfectly ordered coffee, and maybe a renewed boost of confidence in your English communication. Until next time.